Welcome to Michelle Motivational Corner. Bursting forth with new joy. Detroit, keep rising. I'm so excited about the things that's going on. Things are getting better and better. And for us to stay encouraged and motivated, continue on praying about the negative, but stay focused on the positive things. The positive things will really keep us exuberated and exalted to knowing that the more you stay that way, the more things start looking a lot better in our neighborhoods, the community. It's just like we came a long way and we're going to even continue on rising. And I want to shout out to the movers and shakers and trailblazers that's in the city of Detroit, Michigan, over the world, because all the movers and shakers using their power to do positive things to make a difference in this world. So we just want to continue on thanking God for peace, moving silent in prayer about the war. God is showing up and showing out. Just be humble and continue on thanking God, doing what we know He can do because He's bigger than anything. There's none too big and none too hard. So we're going to trust and stand and knowing that He going to do it. So to say that, I just go back to my childhood, all the fun things and the good memories of Detroit, how we all used to go on our field trips to Belle Isle. And I remember we used to pack our lunch, Better Made potato chips, Fago Pop. Then we had like the little candy bars. They was like, they weren't even quite 25 cents, but I just know that all the good things that we got to continue on being a remembrance of, we got the um the museums, all the museums. It's just so many good things that I could say and have memories as a childhood going on field trips and how, I remember when I had my first job when I were 14. I worked for Detroit Urban League. And Detroit Urban League was on John R. and Mack. And so we had different assignments. We used to walk in the neighborhoods. Some days we would clean the neighborhoods. And that right there was like experience by itself because we was cleaning, and at the time it was like a lot of things going on, and it was heavy and herring and all that. The needles and stuff was showing, so we would get out there and they made sure we wore boots and gloves and stuff. Then it was some days where we would pick assignment and go to the science fair, and sometimes we go to the library, and everyone that worked at that site, we all had to find streets. We all was assigned to streets down there in the neighborhood of downtown. And I can remember my street was Adelaide. So I had to do research on it. And the research was is that Adelaide was like a farm. And the block was like a farm. And they had horses and carriages, cows, and all type of animals on there. So it was a family named Adelaide, but they had the whole farm. And when I looked it up, I was like, wow, it took me back, in the 60s and stuff. I believe it was the 50s or the 60s, but it's just showing how many things that we experience, and you don't forget. You don't forget. And it was good memories because it was exciting. We used to walk down we even went to the Wayne County jail just to show the young girls and the boys, this is what happened when you do things and this is where you end up. And I'm not going to ever forget that because I remember one of the men was in there and he was saying he shouldn't have been there because of this and that, because one of the students was able to ask questions. And they asked him, why are you here? He said, he scared the judge, and he robbed the bank. He scared the judge. He robbed the bank and scared the judge. And we was like, wow. So, it was just like, that's something you don't forget. So during that time, and I was 14 at the time, we were just all over the place at the Detroit Urban League. And it was fun. I remember we'd go on lunch breaks to McDonald's. Sometimes we bring our own lunch. We had really a good time, and it was very educational too. So we learned to do a lot of things, sightseeing, and we done seen some things that we was like, just downtown, which is beautiful. And I'm so happy that Detroit is rising, and I just want to continue on telling my children the good memories that we have so much going on, and don't take it for granted because it's a blessing. Things are better. Bella, I show them the little areas where we used to be at, and it used to just be so much fun. It still is. It still is. Even though I'm grown and have children. But I just let them know every chance I get. I want them to know this is a fun place to be, and it's gonna be even better, safe, fun, and everybody could come here and still have a good outcome, a good memory, because we can party. Now, you know what I'm saying? I was born on Ferry Park. I know we could party with good music, good people, good music. That's what really, you know, we, sounds, motor, city. I mean, we just got it going on. And I just feel so good because I just know things are shifting and changing, and it's a good look. And so I just want to keep that vibe going. You know, like I say, focus on the positive things and pray about the negative. That people start coming together more instead of trying to compete or tear down. Let's figure out how we can build somebody up. Because if somebody tell me about so and so, I'm gonna pray about it. You know what I'm saying? I hope that they get it together. But I know God can take care of it if I can't help you. So if people start having that mindset, trying to help one another instead of marking and making fun of people, you'll realize how much this community, neighborhood, everything will be better because everybody be looking out for one another because everybody got their shortcoming. Everybody got their shortcoming. It's all about trying to line up and let's connect and do positive things because the more positive things you put out, it come back even with your children. When you out here helping somebody else child, believe me, your child gonna benefit because when your child in a situation, somebody gonna bless them and God gonna bless them on top of it because you bless that child. So come on, be mindful about what you do. And I want to change the note on this, but that's why I said people would nitpick. But I'm telling you, I know ever since the pandemic hit, we all been going through something. It didn't mess with us emotionally, psychologically. That's why it's so good to have a relationship with the Lord. Because when you have a relationship with the Lord, you will be so much mindful to just go before Him. Give Him your time every morning. Give Him your time. Start thanking Him for everything. Thank Him for letting you wake up this morning. Your eyes, your ears, your face, your hands, everything that you got. That could be a whole different story if it weren't for God making a way for you to be covered. So you want to thank Him for your roof over your head. Thank you for your car. Thank Him for being the head of your life, head of a household. You want to thank Him for everything. Then on top of it, you want to go ahead and go into prayer. You know what I'm saying? It is really it's good for you. It's therapeutic. It's for you to stay in a mindset is that you rest and assure that God gonna do something because He heard your cry. Because when you cry out loud, believe me, He hears. Trust me, He just want to see if you gonna trust Him and be still and let Him handle His business. And that's what I've done because at one time I couldn't say I got in the way and I could have really been looking at some things that would not be like it is today. So I learned to be still and just get myself together and ask God, to show up and show out, make crooked edges straight within me and around me. So it's so important. Anything that's crooked in me, Lord, make it straight. I want it straight. I want to come right. I want to do the right thing because I want right results. I want prayers to be answered. And I want blessings to fall upon me. And then around me, because if you're around people and they crooked, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. Show me your friends. Show me your future. So you got to realize you can't be around somebody that's constantly causing all havoc and thinking that you're going to be good and you constantly going around them, baby, you're going to be in the mix. You're going to be blocking your blessings. You're going to get jacked up and hang yourself just for hanging around people like that because people always complaining and stirring up to cause riffraff or figure out who they trying to ruin, who they trying to tear down. Baby, because sooner or later, y'all going to go against each other. When you go against each other, then it ain't going to be fun because all that the story changes when you let these things consume you because sooner or later it's gonna consume you for real. And so where I'm going at to this, that's why I say you don't know what people going through emotionally, psychologically. We still here and it's a blessing, but people are kind of holding in on a lot of stuff. That's why I pray for God to touch people and let them know they keep hanging on, to not give up, far as suicidal, far as feeling like don't nobody care, feeling isolated. When you isolated, spend your time and just continue on getting into the word. Find a scripture. If you don't do nothing but find two scriptures, just keep on praying on and operate. It's like you could look it up if you ain't got nobody give it to you, because it's different scriptures, you know what I'm saying, that really will do what it do and it will manifest in your life. So you really have to really have a mindset like, let me go ahead and look up something right now if I'm feeling depressed. You know what I'm saying? Take the press out, but you got to check yourself first because you know what I'm saying? You could not be checking yourself and wreck yourself because if you still out here causing habit and then you're going to keep doing this, doing dirt, you know what I'm saying? God see it, but He wants you to be done with that. If you're going to come to Him and say, I repent, I want to repent and I want it right. And He will. He'll help you and you'll start having a mindset like, okay, I ain't going to, I'm going to stop. And believe me, once you stop, He'll start showing you little throwing nuggets your way, blessing certain things to come to you where you didn't have to do all that. So, I just want to see that, you get into it. And once you get into it, you'll see how things are start operate on your behalf. I don't want it to be too late, because some people say they was going to do it, but tomorrow's not guaranteed. So it's really important that people got to realize this is the strategy to stay lined up. I don't care who you are. You could be high one day and low tomorrow. So to stay on tune, to be balanced with the Lord, say, Lord, you get my time first. You know what I'm saying? Because your time, you can't go back and get it. But when you spend your time with God, it's going to be beneficial for you, for your life, for your family, for your future. Because things that you sowing into praying, tears, crying out, God hear. But tears don't move Him, but He hear you. He want to see is you going to have that faith walk. Are you going to apply yourself? And that's why it's so important you should not just pray, also obey. Because if He tell you don't break His commandments, come on now. I don't want to keep doing this. I want to get right. You know what I'm saying? I want to repent and I want to obey. And so that's the main thing to look at, to come out of any type of mindset that will have you cultivated into any darkness or negative. And then this is another thing. That's why I tell people, you got to be careful who you put your mouth on and how you talk because things nowadays, they're not like they used to because we didn't see right before our eyes people been wiped out. The pandemic was enough to tell you no matter how high and how low you is, that it ain't nothing but like a drop of dime, you could be gone. So it's just so much people got to stop playing. We on borrowed time and we want to figure out how can we make a difference. And when you figure out you can make a difference, you will know, okay, well, I'm gonna be mindful how I treat people. I'm gonna be mindful who I put my mouth on. So and where I want to go with this, 2 King 2:23-24. And it said about when they said, go up, bald head, them she bears came out. And it'll tell you. And that's why I say I know all the commotion on the internet flowing and overflowing, it'll wear itself down. But I'm praying for peace to the situation. And I know it was wrong because obviously it was some beef before this. And you don't know who's behind the scenes, nick picking and nick necking. So it's like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett was on 10 feeling good because they doing something good, they helping somebody, but then just that little nudge touched him in the wrong way. And I guess he was like, that's it. And they probably already sensed it. They didn't probably even know he was going to be up there. But he went there, and when he went there, Will Smith just went like, bam, and it was wrong how he did it. But one thing about it, coming up, when I was a little girl, I remember someone said something out of order to my mom, and trust me, he got dealt with. And then after that, that was the last you seen out of him. I don't know what happened, but I just know me and my sister talked about it a long time because they was all playing cards. And it was like at one of our gambling parties, my mama had, and I remember mama made us go to our rooms because we was down in the basement. We came up and she told us to go to the room. But back in the day, people don't play that. Even now to this day. You know what I'm saying? I know it's jokes and all and this and that, but it's just so wrong to put people out there. I could see if they went to the side and said blah, 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 blah. But obviously it had to be something prior to 2016 and it had to come out and throw a dart just to spark that. And that's why I say it's so much for us to be careful because you don't want to put your mouth on nobody. Everybody is sensitive. Everybody is sensitive. We've been locked up. We've been so trying to maintain to survive. And then, you just don't know. You just don't know what people going through. just by that, it could have caused Jada Pinkett to want to do something. It could have caused it to be more violence, but thank God. And I pray that this work out, and I pray that they put the ban off of Will Smith. I pray that they both could probably get together and make peace with this. And I hate that he pushed that button, and that button set it off. You just don't know what people going through. It's not that I'm trying to keep confusion and take sides, but I'm so much 100 growing up knowing that nobody play you talking about they woman. Don't nobody play it. Don't nobody play it at all. So if you gonna have jokes, you could have said anything but that, especially if it been some emotional things going on, physically, mentally. You don't do it, because it's people out in the street getting killed for that. Seriously, getting killed. Don't put your mouth on somebody. They could be going through depression and you wouldn't even know it. People show up and you never know. They could turn around and been to kill themselves based on that. So you have to be careful who you put your mouth on. And I want in the word. The word says Kings, 2 Kings 2:23-4. And it tells you exactly what happened. It tells you, it said, and he went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, they came forth little children out of the city and marked him and said unto him, go up, bald head, go up, bald head. And then he looked back and he cursed them. You know what I'm saying? But these little children, so just imagine if a dog did know better, should have wanted to a whole different way. He could have handled it after the Grammys after party, but you just don't know. You just don't know. That's why it's so good to pray, pray. And the positive things, did nobody get killed. Did nobody get killed? Because coming up, people that got taken out for putting their mouth on their woman or their honey, however But just keeping it real, from all day to every day, even with the children. So it's been people that got into it, and it done meant the news because it started over somebody saying something about their child. But that's why I said when I went to the word with it, the word saying you don't do that. And it's in 2 Kings 2:23-24. And it tells you what happened. They were cursed. You don't do that. So people got to be mindful. Be sensitive to people. I don't care how much wealth you got, but people are feelings and we all have emotions. And that's why it's so much to get closer to God, so you can ask God to deal with it. Because you might have turned around and just be like a clip ready to spray and blah, blah, blah. But see, that'd be none, because there's consequences behind that. And so it's consequences behind what Will Smith did. But something, like I said, I love Will Smith and Jada Pinkett and his family, and I love Chris Rock. I love all of them. But it's just that these are not the time such as this to be really going there, especially with somebody woman. Not even the children. It's just, let's figure out how to bring peace. I know we all want to laugh and stuff, but be very mindful what subject you pick. Be very mindful, because not only that, the reality gonna hit you, and then when you get into the word, like, I'm not no scholar, but I'm telling you, and Galatians 6 verse 7-8 tells you, and I'm gonna take you there. And to keep it on the 100 tip, Galatians 6, we're going to go to verse 7. It say, be not deceived. God is not marked. Whatever man sows, he shall reap. So you got to be careful. Even if Will wouldn't have went up there and smacked him, he don't know what would happen to his wife or his kids or anything. So it's real out here. God's showing you the signs of times. You know what I'm saying? Because people would mark until they can't mark. When I was coming up, my mama told me this story about this girl was jealous of this woman. She was built up, but her child was born. I don't know if it was the baby was handicapped. And people was all trying to help her, because she, that's how we used to do, instead of talking about her. But the girl was so jealous of her, because obviously somebody that she liked must have wanted her, and they didn't care whether the child was disabled. They just was digging on her. But they talked about her so bad, to the point everybody was like, why she keep messing with that girl? But obviously had to be some jealousy. But let me tell you what happened to her. She ended up going through all type of hell. And she ended up getting pregnant, had a miscarriage. Then she had some other stuff that was going on in her life, and this was like in the era of my sister, and I heard them talking about it. But I was like, ain't that the one that always talk about that lady with the baby with the special needs? And my sister was like, yeah. I was like, dang, and mama and them was talking about it. So I know that you got to be careful who you constantly marking, because that's like marking yourself, cursing yourself. And it says in Galatians, it tells you in the word, you know what I'm saying, 6, 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? God is not marked. Whatever man sows, he should reap. So if you belong to God and somebody marking you and you giving it over to God and be still, trust me, you don't know how it's going to hit. That's why I try to be very mindful, and whoever marking or talking all that junk, you just know that it's going to get dealt with, because they don't know how they hitting their